Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
What's good, y'all? Good morning. Shout out to the 6 a.m. Monday through Friday crew. That's right. 5 minutes early. You never know. Caught some of y'all off guard. Y'all see the thumbnail? We got a bunch of things to go over this morning, as well as some stuff that's not in the title and the thumbnail, of course. But we're going to start off with Diddy. This one caught me off guard. I ain't going to lie to you. Victim 3, really? We covered that whole trial day by day. We brought all the news and all the updates. We heard so much about Victim 3, and now Victim 3 finally pops out. I have a little subtopic to go after this as well. But let's actually read the news, and then I'm going to pull up the paperwork from his docket. And for those that don't know, that's Victim 3, allegedly, in the thumbnail of this particular video. Gina, right? I believe that's short for Virginia, right? A beautiful woman, by the way. They all look the same or similar. Let me stop. Diddy's ex Gina. He's a changed man, Judge. Victim 3 wants him out on bail. Okay. And here's a picture of the lovely lady. Okay. Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Gina, victim number 3 in the federal indictment, who was a no-show in court after prosecutors subpoenaed her, just went to bat for him and in his bid to get out of jail pending sentencing. Okay. In new legal docs obtained by TMZ, Gina pens a letter to the judge in Diddy's criminal case supporting Diddy's motion for bail. Now, I'm going to go over to the motion paperwork separately in a second, but this letter right here is an exhibit that's attached to the documentation on the motion. All right. Dear Your Honor, my name is Virginia, and I am writing as a person identified as Victim 3 in this case. I have known Sean Combs for many years in both personal and professional capacity. From the experience I have seen him primarily as a father, a family man, and a businessman, roles that he has always strived to uphold. I provide this letter to share. Get out of here with these ads. I provided this letter to share my observations about his character and respectfully request that the court permit his release on bond while the case proceeds. I acknowledge and respect that Mr. Combs stands accused and that the court must weigh public safety and the integrity of the legal process at the time. I believe it is important for the court to have a full picture of who he is beyond the allegations. Our relationship, like many, was not always perfect. We experienced ups and downs and mistakes were made, but he was willing to acknowledge his mistakes and make better decisions in the future. Over the years that followed, he made visible efforts to become a better person and to address the harm he had caused. By the time our relationship ended, he embodied the energy of love, patience, and gentleness that was markedly different from, and then it's cutting off here on the TMZ website, but you see, it's all character testimony, so to speak. And you gotta know she didn't write this herself. Okay. Even if she was on her own, ChatGPT definitely did that for her. But and I'm not even gonna say that, this is her operating on her own. This is a very high profile case. Diddy is still a very, very powerful person. His legal team is outside pulling on many, many resources, including now we see Victim 3. And I wouldn't be surprised if some lawyers, Diddy's lawyers, his team, wrote this for her, and then she put her name to it, submitted, boom, put it as an exhibit up to the judge, let him review this package as well, along with the bond request. Makes sense. Powerful guy, resourceful guy. Don't ever slip on who Diddy is. Gina says she's known Diddy for years and she's mostly seen him as a father, etc. We just read that. Here's more pictures of her. So when we talk about Daphne Joy, allegedly, Jane Doe 50's baby mother, when we talk about this young lady, Gina, you talk about, there's a lot of similarities in how they're all beautiful women. I ain't mad at the man's taste. You know what I'm saying? But he's got a thing for that Filipino Asian type of I ain't mad at him, B. I'm not mad at him at all. All right. Prosecutors and the judge cited Diddy's violent behavior as a reason for keeping him in jail pending his October 3rd sentencing. But Gina says As far as she knows, Diddy has not been violent for many. That would be different than what came out via testimony, but violent for all what came out in the fucking video that the whole world and the whole court was putting a public perception on him for. For many years, it has committed to being a father first. See, the good thing about that letter, though I'm gonna keep it 1,000, is she's not trying to act like Diddy's an angel because you can't. Nobody in the world thinks that Diddy's an angel, and his opening statements from his attorneys went that same direction. He did this, he did that, he's not great. We saw the video, but there's a lot of consent. These were adults. He's a changed man. He's this, he's that. We're not here for domestic violence. We're here for Rico, you know? So the letter is all in line with that the same approach from his defense, which obviously worked in many angles. So it makes sense. Good move. He's really still fighting there to get bond prior to sentencing and then go in for sentencing, get sentenced. See, here's the thing, too. We keep saying, or I keep saying, let me get this paperwork up here for y'all, too. I keep saying this is a bail fight now for like 90 days, right? You know, a month and a half, because if he's due for sentencing on October 13th, on October 13th, that's one thing I don't know. It could go one of two ways, right? You can get to October 13th and they could sentence you, let's say hypothetically, for 2 years. And will they take him right there on the spot, take him into custody right there on the spot? Or will they say, all right, you're sentenced for 2 years and you must turn yourself in mid-December, right? So go outside. We're going to trust you on an ankle monitor or whatever to go get your affairs in order, and then you're going to start your sentence mid-December. So that would actually take him getting out now all the way through when they say you're due to turn yourself in. But I don't see that. We're not seeing that formulate for him where they wouldn't take him into custody at the same time as sentencing, because the way that they already denied his bond after his conviction came down, the way that they denied his bond, I believe, the first time, and the way that he's here fighting for his bond right now, the prosecution keeps fighting for the point, saying that he is a danger. He's dangerous to people. You got other people that came out post his conviction, other women around him and ex-employees and whatnot that were coming out saying, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. So the prosecution is heavily using that, and that's what him and his team is combating. So if the judge has ruled on that multiple times, saying just let him sit there, right? Why would at sentencing the judge say, all right, I'm going to let you go walk outside until this start date of your sentence? So it's really, I'm wrong there. It's probably not in Diddy's, what he's going for, not just thinking it's going to be a month and a half. I might be outside a little bit longer than that. And on top of that, to close out that point, what if the way I keep fighting off this Mann Act, I'm the only person in here or with this type of time for these 2 Mann Act type of charges, right? And what if he's able to retry the case or get out, period, despite this bail thing? So, damn, this is what money does. And this is what being resourceful and having a big legal team around you. And Diddy, far from broke, B. Like, his shit, he's been convicted, and every move he makes is still news headlines. That resourceful. Let's go to the paperwork. This was put on his docket, I believe, yesterday. Yeah, you see August 3rd. Yep. All right. Dear Judge, Sean Combs, through his counsel, submits this brief letter in reply to the government's response to his motion for release on conditions pending sentencing. Impervious to the jury's verdict, the government proceeds as though Combs was not acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, along with all the racketeering acts with which he was charged and found not guilty. Hell-bent on punishing him for being a user of prostitution services in a more draconian manner than anyone in U.S. history, the government continues to target him unfairly, just as it has done from the inception of this provable misplaced investigation. Despite the jury's verdict, it continues to make factual statements that are plainly at odds with the 12 New Yorkers found, and to try to keep Combs incarcerated, even though the jury rejected the serious charges that led to his pretrial detention in the first place. Specifically, the government argues that Combs has failed to meet the standard for reconsideration. 2, does not show exceptional circumstances. And 3, cannot reasonably show Combs' appearance in court or the safety of the community for the reasons stated below. The government's arguments all fail. That shit opened up pretty strong, wouldn't you say? He's opened it up pretty tough there. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right. The court has ample authority to grant bail. The government first argues that Combs' bail application should be considered as a motion for reconsideration by the court. However, as the government acknowledges in the footnote, the Bail Reform Act is silent on when or if the district judge may consider his or her in a footnote to the Bail Reform Act. All right. Own detention order pending sentence. So they're already disproving if the judge has the ability to even do this. Right. Is it something where it's just like, yo, that's out of my hands, B? Like, that's not constitutional. That's not the law. So they're saying, no, judge, you can rule in our favor if you choose to, buddy, if you read this shit the right way. All right. So they get past that. As a good angle. Exceptional reasons exist because of both the facts underlying this conviction and the conditions at the MDC. Talk about his prison surroundings. The government argues that Combs has failed to show the need to prevent a manifest injustice as required. The government claims the defense has already argued exceptional circumstances based on a comparison of his case to the Mann Act convictions, but that was a hurried application the day of the verdict based on a very quick review over the course of the day of other Mann Act cases. That quick review yielded 4 cases, which count. They was working back there when his conviction came down, and they proposed his bail right there on the spot. And judge said, "Hold on, let me look at this. Matter of fact, give me some time. We'll come back after lunch. We'll reconvene and present your case." They went back and they crunched the numbers and the facts, the black and white and the past. They came back. Good lawyers. This is why you criminals got to have some money in the bank. Damn. That quick review yielded 4 cases. Okay. After distinguishing just these 4 cases, counsel argued that they provided a strong argument for a reasonable sentence in the case, and that counsel would try to get Combs' sentence as soon as possible. Now, with the benefit of further research, counsel has reviewed scores of cases from across the country and submits this renewed motion for bail, showing that exceptional circumstances exist to warrant release pending sentencing. There have been no remotely similar Mann Act convictions, and the cases that government cites are distinguishable. So I don't need to read that. That's pretty much going back at the prosecution saying, listen, this one, don't try to act like you got this Mann Act situation over here and they was also denied bail. This is a first of its kind. No, they're not this. We are not the same. No. It's a fight. Defense, prosecution side. It's a fight. It's a fight. Good lawyers lawyering. That's what it is. Now, let me read this piece right here. Oh no, I want to see that. Moreover, the victims for all 3 defendants were victims of sex trafficking. They could hardly speak English and were undocumented immigrants who were tricked and coerced to work as prostitutes by the defendant and in a related case who profited from their forced labor. That right there is probably going after some of the examples that the prosecution submitted related to bail denial and the Mann Act that somebody was convicted of. They're like, no. The case that they submitted, those was immigrants, and there was profit. Did he profit in all? Like literally financially profit, like running a sex trafficking ring? Did he literally? No, he spent his money to set up his porn scenes and shit. And that's it. He may have wrote some of this shit off on his taxes or whatever, but there's no tax evasion charges here. So we're not going to go that direction. Come on, B. It's crazy that this is what we need from our podcasters. And I want to remain just like this briefly. I'll say this quick. This is what we need. Remember, I'm the guy on record 1,000,000 times. Diddy's a piece of shit. I don't rock with him. I don't like him as a man. I don't really respect him anymore. His music history, his catalog, and what he did in the music industry, his resume is his resume. But him, I look at him, I'm good on him. I'm cool. But as far as covering news updates, legalities, lawsuits, accusations, I want to stick to the black and white. I want to stick to the facts as much as possible. I'm always going to give y'all my opinions, but as much as I don't fuck with him, this shit seems correct in his favor. It does, just like the verdict did, right? All right. The government brushes over Collins, where the defendant was released following a mistrial on sex trafficking counts, then tried for violating the Mann Act. They got some other good references in here. MDC is an exceptional circumstance under Chavez. What are you about to tell me? Like everybody else under the Mann Act wasn't in an MDC level type of jail? Yeah, that's another good angle. We continue to be grateful to the facility staff for allowing access to counsel and Combs to prepare for trial. Without this critical access, Combs would not have been able to prepare his successful defense. However, that does not change the reality of the conditions at the facility for the past 11 months. The government argues that during the defendant's stay at MDC, the facility has made enormous strides in increasing the stabilizing their staffing level, improving medical services, and improving physical conditions. Yeah, they're saying like, you got me here with some max fed case niggas and shit. All I did was hire some guys, B. You normally put the me's of the world over there in the like the little soft playground shit, detention centers and shit. The fuck is this MDC shit? The fuck? Listen, we're grateful y'all looked out. We was able to prepare for trial and all that, but we're not gonna forget all this other shit. Y'all got the broken toilets over there. Damn, good angles, man. Good responses here. A lot of shit redacted. The defendant will submit any conditions the court deems appropriate to assure his appearance and assure his safety and community. I'm sure they will. Remember what Little Dirk submitted? Boy, that security guard breakdown thing that he submitted was above and beyond. They still denied it, but the defendant does not pose a danger to others. Let's read that. First, despite the conditions of confinement at MDC, Combs has not gotten into any fights. There have been no allegations of violence at the MDC with respect to Combs, and for good reason. At trial, the defense admitted violence in connection with decades-old violence and an indictment of assault for which Combs was first attacked repeatedly in June 2024, but Combs has not participated in any violence for the last 11 months. Oh, 11 months. That's the first gotcha right there that I'm reading. Oh, good job. 11 months, no violence. Demonstrating to the court that even in conditions he is currently subject to where there is unchecked violence surrounding him, he will not commit assault. Oh, they're painting him as like, yeah, I could be in here beating the shit out of niggas, but I've been chilling. Yo, his lawyers is on some shit. I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with him. He did not commit those. I kept my hands to myself. He is so Diddy's not the toughest in MDC. Let's be clear. But his money is probably the strongest. That's the thing too. There's probably a lot of people that dare put a finger on him. Might be getting looked out for. Might powerful people get all types of preferential treatment from the CEOs to the warden. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He is sober, has been committed to bettering himself with therapy as established in the trial record, and is committed to doing everything possible to support himself and his family. Quick point there. His lawyers are so good. His lawyer team around him is so good. Not only was there a fight at the trial, or actually going in, the prep seemed outstanding. Even bringing Brian Steele in fourth quarter and shit. The prep, then the actual trial. They went off. They did their thing. Now post conviction, they're going crazy. But there's also elements in there as well of them steering the little small things that he involves himself in that they will use, like go ahead and commit yourself to this program, or go ahead and reach out to this you know what I'm saying? It's things that they're using later, like this unchecked violence that they're painting for MDC, and then saying that he never got it. You know how many times his lawyers was probably drumming in his mind, stay the fuck away from everybody. We can't have a single brush up in there. No fights, no violence, because the whole world is watching you beat on Cassie right now. The last thing we could hear is that you got into a fight in there, even if it's not your fault. They're guiding him through all of this shit. They're doing an amazing job, man. They really are. Second, the government argues that the trial record is to replete with evidence of the defendant's act of violence towards others. The witnesses the government called testified in support of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges, all which Combs was acquitted. A lot of redacted stuff. Finally, the government argues that Combs brutally attacked Jane in June of 2024 in context of a freak-off. However, the court will recall that on the evening of June 2024, Jane invited Combs to her home. She had a magnum of champagne and tequila waiting. Unprompted by anything Combs said or anything that happened that evening, at one point, Jane smashed Combs's head into her kitchen counter as he was bending over tying his shoes. She then began throwing glasses and burning candles at him, saying she hated him and calling him a pedo. She explained this by testifying that Combs was dating another woman who was older than 18 but was younger than Jane. She continued throwing glasses at him and believed she got hot candle wax on him. It was in this context that Combs defended himself, and several hours after this, that the entertainment night allegedly occurred. The freak off. After all of this, the government tried Combs on this incident of sex trafficking, and he was acquitted by the jury. So not only did they make it look like, nigga, this was Jane tripping, throwing stuff, smashed my head, I defended myself, and then we had a freak off after that. So that's three. Here's number 3 here. And I was acquitted on it. So what y'all want? They're going off. Whoever wrote this is, or combination of people, they're going off. Sean Combs is not a risk to a flight. Okay. Respectfully submitted. Mark Agnifilo, Tini Gallegos, Alexandra Shapiro, Jason Driscoll, Nicole Westmoreland, Xavier Donaldson, Brian Steele, Anna all of them are listed on this particular motion. Boy, oh boy, they working. They are working. This is what money does, people. This is what power does. This is what being resourceful does. Now it's just about seeing if, despite all of this, he still gets bail. And let's see their continued attack on the Mann Act. See how it all pans out for him. Interesting. All right, let's move on. We got Soulja Boy all across all the social media platforms and websites. Soulja Boy got in trouble for a quick second. The question for a Soulja Boy can always be like, almost like a Chris Brown sometimes, right? Like, how often are y'all going to keep getting in trouble? At what point can y'all sit down and just not get in trouble for, like, let's say a good 3 years, maybe? Like a 3-year stint? Can you give me a 3-year stint? Soulja Boy busted an LA traffic stop. Cops say they found gun. Okay. Soulja Boy was arrested after police say they found a firearm during a traffic stop. TMZ has confirmed. Law enforcement sources tell us the rapper was a passenger in a vehicle that was pulled over around 2:30 a.m. Sunday in Los Angeles. During the stop, officers spotted a firearm in the car, and Soulja Boy was taken into custody and booked on suspicion of being a felon in possession of a firearm. It's currently unclear what prompted the traffic stop in the first place, and details about the firearm or whether anyone else was involved remain unclear as well. We got Soulja Boy on TMZ Celebrity Tour, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Soulja Boy posted to his social media. This was him in the club, I believe, like the night of or the night before. There's definitely some questions here. As much as I want to say, like, yo, Soulja Boy, give me a good 3-year stint of staying out of trouble. There's some questions here. First of all, he wasn't the driver. He was the passenger. All right. Does that matter? Absolutely, right? The owner of the car, the driver of the vehicle, especially even from a having to turn over certain documents or getting out the car. Normally, I don't know the state and everything, and sometimes those laws change state to state, right? You ever get pulled over in a car as a passenger? I have. And a cop never asks you a single question, not ask you for your ID, or you're not the driver. We literally even see videos of people arguing like, I'm not driving. Why are you bothering me? Right? Once again, let's not act like attorneys. That rule might change state to state. You might be thinking that you don't even have to get out your car. But we saw even in the case of that guy McNeil, who didn't get out the car. By law, no, he was supposed to get out the car the moment that officer said get out the car, right? But anyway, he wasn't the driver here. What always kills me too is the gun was in sight, right? I feel like at least half the time that's bullshit. A good 50% of the time that's bullshit, because the officers be needing just cause without a warrant. And that's where you get the reports of I smelled weed. The driver acted erratically or threatened me. There was a gun or a knife in plain sight. I saw the drugs on the back seat. And I know there's a lot of stupid criminals out there and a lot of stupid people out there. But most of us, if you're getting pulled over and you know what's in your car, you don't just leave a fucking gun right there on the dash, or you don't leave it on the passenger seat or on the back seat sitting there for everybody to see, right? You got a lot of people that while they're getting pulled over, they're gonna grab their seatbelt, put their seatbelt on. If you got tinted windows in the rear view, you definitely clear. They're not gonna be able to see through your rear windshield while you put your fucking seatbelt on and shit. You know, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Like, at least 50% of the time when I hear that, I feel gun was in plain sight. Okay, so here's the thing too. That police officer's report, which we do not have access to, should also say, where was the gun? If it was in plain sight, where was the gun? Let's say that officer's report was, it was in clear sight on the passenger side rear seat. How do you establish whose it is? Then it comes down to the driver and Soulja Boy. Who's claiming it? Is somebody going to take that charge? Is it really Soulja Boy's gun? You know, is he just a passenger riding around with somebody that's holding him down? The gunman, the shooter, the security guard, whatever. Like, well, if it was a real legitimate security guard, we would assume he wouldn't be here. But security guards come in multiple forms. Sometimes security is your friends. Sometimes security is that guy that's unlicensed. Sometimes it's an unretired police officer. Or it could just be your man from the hood that's just like, nigga, we moving. What's up? I got you. So we're not jumping out the window of if this was his gun, how the gun was really identified in the first place, you know. But we do want to say Soulja Boy keeps getting. He just lost that big lawsuit, right? You know, he's a problem child at times. How old is Soulja Boy? Let me see this real quick. How old is Soulja? Is he in his 40s yet? Might be close. I give him upper 30s, like 37. That's what I'm gonna give him. 35. Okay, 35. Soulja, you've been here forever, man. You're 35, but you've been in the industry since Superman, you know, which was 40 years ago. Come on, man. I don't got too much to ask of Soulja Boy, though. It just is what it is. But I do think that there's some details around the reports that are sketchy and that he may be able to use. So we'll see. All right. Shout out to Checks and Balances on this one. I saw this one this morning. So Rick Ross has a new interview. Oh, wait. Let me shout out the interviewers. I'm sorry. Rick Ross Gets Real. Welcome to the AV interview, episode 1. Oh, so this is a new joint, a new platform. Top 5 movement. They got 9.52 subscribers. They went right into their pocket and said, let's get a big guest up here, Rick Ross. And this is an hour-plus long interview, so y'all check it out. I'm only going to play a couple minutes of it because somebody in Checks and Balances posted this to me and said, hey, if you go to this 48-minute mark, he's still getting that 50 more. So let's see what he's talking about as relates to those two guys.
Man, I mean, we seen the vlogs when you was on the boat hanging out.
Right.
And I love how you reply. You reply like a Stone Cold player. Ain't no reason to argue.
No. It's certain niggas that they understand and accept they my opposition, and I accept it.
Correct.
But when niggas had more money than you at one time, and now they poor, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a difference when you go broke and when you poor.
That ain't 50.
What's the difference, Ray?
Being broke,
Yeah.
that could just be for a time being.
Right. Temporarily.
Yeah, you could be broke today, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Straight
saying?
tomorrow. It's straight tomorrow, yeah.
You could get a job, whatever
But
it
when
is.
you poor,
When you poor, it's in your heart. It's in your heart.
Oh,
Imagine if
man.
you a po
Hey,
nigga
nigga
sitting
cold,
on
man.
IG watching Rose jump off his $40 million jet, jump in his electric
Boy,
Rolls
this
Royces
nigga is
to go jump
cold,
on his
man.
yacht, nigga, with one of the baddest in the motherfucking city.
Who the fuck this nigga think he is? What it is?
It's a nigga who can't even dress. That nigga wear a Yankee hat with a motherfucking Lacoste or a Psycho Bunny t-shirt.
That's true.
Dog couldn't even hang around us, man. You see the type of niggas we a dog ain't built like that,
Yeah.
boy.
Feel uncomfortable in the room.
And not only that, on some G shit.
Yeah.
On some G shit. Nigga know he goofy, but it ain't no reason for them niggas not to be wealthy. Why you niggas ain't wealthy?
Yeah.
You niggas that got on and did all that with all them people and all. You nigga, I started with slip and slide. I came out from the smallest pocket you could come out.
Right.
And I done ran laps around them pussy niggas.
Yeah.
Laps, nigga. Them niggas po, nigga. Nigga can't afford my socks.
I ain't gonna lie, Rose.
Hey. I'm finna show my socks again and make sure my dogs go viral. Tell that nigga, look.
How much?
We using you, nigga. You know who we
how much that
talking
is on the
about. You not
socks?
dressing, nigga. We using you for my dogs to go viral. That's why I use them niggas. Them niggas is useless.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man.
You niggas is useless. We use you niggas. Now post another me on my yacht again, nigga. Where your yacht at?
Where your yacht at, nigga?
You got on a Psycho Bunny shirt with a Yankee hat, nigga. You couldn't even come to Club Live with me, nigga.
Oh,
Them
man.
niggas
Hey,
fake,
man,
man. Them
shit.
niggas ain't.
Hey.
Oh, I'm gonna stop it. That's funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. You got a Psycho Bunny shirt with a Yankees hat on. If 50 never was a nigga that had style like that, we ain't gonna lie. 50 is not a stylish person. And I was jokingly saying that when we saw the video of Pap walking out Clarissa to the fight the other night. I like, yo, Pap, you gotta like some probably 2,000, 3,000 designer shoes, this very loud, dope looking Versace shirt, and a Yankee hat. It just don't. I understand everybody like repping their shit, but it's just a time to, I don't know, like in certain areas and certain times to throw that shit on, and that's one of those times, like that walkout, or I don't know. But 50 is not a stylish person. He's never been. It is what it is, but we're not really here for that. In the background, what I did pull up for y'all though, because he's while he was just talking his shit, I think he was going related to also the post that he put up after he was dissing 50 Cent's son, talk about taking him fishing. He was just like, yo, after you sold 10 million, didn't you think that was a good time to renegotiate your record deal? Don't you think that was a good time to negotiate taking ownership of your masters? You're on top of the world, trying to hit him with some money and some business talk. And then he goes on here in this clip, I done lapped you, mother, y'all did all of that. Why y'all not wealthy and all this type of stuff? Now, you must be talking to the G Unit members. You can't be talking to 50, right? Because he says you niggas, plural. So if you want to just say like Tony Yayo, I got more money than him. Banks, I got more money than him. Young Buck, if y'all put all the G Unit members together, even if you toss Game in there, especially at this point, what happened with Game, all these people that was underneath your umbrella, 50 Cent, I got money, then I lapped all of them together. I think that's probably true. But you're not talking, you're beefing with 50 though. So let's pull it up in the background real quick. I pulled up how much is Rick Ross worth. His estimated net worth in 2025. Net worth estimates vary, but most reliable sources put Rick Ross in 2025 wealth around $150 million. A lot of money. A few flat platforms project his fortune closer to 170 through 180 million. A projection built on business expansion and real estate appreciation. Fire. Some sources estimate lower values of 70 million. I'm going to go with the higher side just for the sake of just pulling up the stats. I'm going to say, let's put him at a cool 200 million. Let's take a higher number than all those reports, all these different ranges that are put on the internet for him. It's his music catalog. It's his business ventures like Wingstop, the Bel Air he's got real estate. Okay, dope. So in summary, when you take those business ventures, this summary still puts him at about 200 million by 2027. I'm just going to say, for the sake of it, put him at 200 million right now to 2025 or 2025. Why not? Let's do it. Now let's go to 50. How much is 50 worth? It's got an estimated range 45 million to 65 million. Most reputable estimates hover around 45 to 50 million. with some higher and projections reaching 60 to 65 million, depending on revenue. I'm reading completely opposite of what I thought I was going into. This is how you know I'm live. This is how you know I does this live with y'all. Breakdown of wealth sources. Vitamin Water Investment. His early equity stake was reportedly sold to Coca-Cola between 100 to 150. We're not saying that he has that though. We're talking about what's he worth in 2025. His stake in Vitamin Water, TV and production royalties, ongoing spirits and brand ventures, music royalties and royalty income. Estimated net worth 45 to 50 million. That can't be right. Oh shit. We live, people. Wait, hold on. Wait. That's like putting Rick Ross worth like triple more than 50 Cent? Wait. 50. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought I heard talk of him about to cross being a billionaire along with his new media thing that he was building out. Wait a minute. Rick Ross might be talking that shit for real. He might be like, all that CO shit, y'all kiss my ass. 50 Cent is not officially a billionaire. I know that. That would have been breaking news everywhere, and everybody would have been giving him his praise for that. Most financial outlets, analysts place Curtis Jackson net worth between 55 million and 65 million based on his ongoing TV production deals, spirits brand, touring income, and music royalties. More conservative sources put the figure closer to 40 and 50 million. In interviews, 50 Cent has said he's been a billionaire financially since 2007, referring to his ability to pay employees and move money freely, not his net worth as calculated by assets minus liabilities. He's expressed that billionaire status doesn't change life meaningfully. He already owns what he wants and prefer. I know, listen, I'm not shitting on what he has, so 40, 50, none of that. But whoa. Chat, are y'all caught off guard like me? Look at this. Wow. Nah, from the chat. Are y'all caught off guard? Hold on. So shout out to the chat. Somebody put here, ARP forgot 50 went bankrupt. I never really looked at it like that. I looked at it as people file bankruptcy at times. There's different levels of bankruptcy. There's like chapter this and chapter that. There's different forms of it. And sometimes people file bankruptcy purely to protect their assets. Okay. And it looked like a tactical move of him protecting his assets when he got sued by Rick Ross's BM. And that's why he was trolling them back, showing money and all. And I think he got called into court for that shit too. Like, oh, you don't got it, but you just posted on Instagram trolling niggas with all this money on the floor. I think he even got in trouble for that shit. But I thought like Donald Trump, I believe, is another person that filed bankruptcy despite all this Trump plaza and all this stuff that he owned, right? So you don't automatically say the filing of bankruptcy means that you broke. We would have to do more investigation as to specifically 50 Cent's filing of bankruptcy. But even if we fast forward to today, it got him ranging. And if we take the higher end of what reports always say 65 million, the highest range of Rick Ross has him closer to 200. So when he says, I've lapped you guys multiple times, I thought he was just talking about the cheerleader members. Maybe he is talking about 50. I thought 50 was about to crack billionaire status. I missed something. Okay. I don't know what else to say about that. But shout out to Rick Ross at 50. It's a lot of money. I wish I could trade financial places with y'all. But from a beefing standpoint, a trolling standpoint, oh shit. All right, let's move along. I saw a lot this morning. Stephen A. Smith in the headlines for responding to Michelle Obama. And what made me pull this up is the fact that I also was able to see, well, let me go back first and see what's going on with Michelle. What did she say about Stephen A? And you know, Stephen A loves to address stuff on his podcast. He's very transparent. He's very outspoken. He doesn't let much slide. He likes to speak up to a lot of things crossing his desk. And it's also content and money, right? Who are we kidding? But Michelle Obama says watching ESPN for an hour is like watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Stephen A. Smith would be a great Real Housewife. Oh, shit. Super shots fired, calling him a chick. Damn. Okay, Michelle.
ESPN for an hour, it's like watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, you know, it's the same drama and they're yelling at each other and they don't get along. You know, I mean, Stephen A. Smith, he's just like every other
he'd be a
talk show
great
host.
Real Housewife.
He would be.
Right.
It would be amazing.
So that's why I'm like, what's the difference? It's just, you know, it's just sociological drama. If I listen to ESPN.
All right. And Stephen A. Smith definitely responded to that. I'm sure he had at least a 35-minute response to that. I ain't gonna lie. But let's see the clips that's going around for him responding. See what he on.
Respectfully disagreed and still remain pretty salty about what you said about us. And I feel even more adamant about what your husband, Barack Obama, said when he talked to those men in Pittsburgh and implied that to not vote for Kamala is because we're engaging in some sort of misogyny. There are issues that matter to every American citizen. And to sort of blackmail us emotionally into trying to compel us to vote one way or another is part of what won Trump the election. Because that side of the aisle was able to look at the left and say, look at what they'll do to win. And y'all talking about him like he's worse. And in a lot of y'all eyes, he is worse. Respectfully disagreed.
He went to other shit. I thought that the clips going around would be him defending ESPN and that it's not some over dramatized, you know, soap opera, opposed to focusing in on sports analysts doing the highest level of criticism and reporting. Right. He went after, this is why Trump won, nigga. And he tried to bring out a whole different knife. What does some of the comments say for this shit? Stephen A. Smith has some words from Michelle Obama after she compared ESPN to Real Housewives. The first comment here is a boy bye meme. This one here says, you proved a point where you're sassy at. Him responding is so telling, sassy as fuck. I don't give Stephen A. Smith the sassy dog. Like, we ain't gonna do Stephen A. like that. He ain't a sassy guy. He ain't on no verb type shit where you look at him and be like, ooh, that's weird. Like the way you talk and move and wording that. Like, boy, if you knew who, like, I ain't putting that on Stephen A. Smith. Matter of fact, before I think there's another one. Let's check this one out. My bad.
If I listen to ESPN.
Oh, no. That was
and
Michelle.
still remain.
That was Michelle. That's her opinion. Well said. His rebuttal is actually proving her right. Nah, I mean, he's defending himself. And let's take into account every comment that I just read. I'm not against my lady. Shout out to y'all, but it's all women. It's like a beehive coming out against the guy. The guys speak out transparently as well. Cut it out. Stephen A. Smith. So there's a little bit of truth in what she's saying as far as what he presents, not the sassy stuff. I ain't doing that. I think that's his role. Now, mind you, I believe he's the top paid guy in the field, and I'm not sticking up for Stephen A. Smith here, and I don't got nothing against Michelle Obama. I'm not some anti-Obama administration guy, nothing like that, but Stephen A. Smith is the top paid guy in the field, I believe. And I think some of that comes with his whole charismatic presentation. He's not the best sports analyst. He doesn't have the best takes. He gets killed in his own show segments by his peers almost every time. The only person that he was trumping consistently, he got out of there, which was Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman he said ridiculous shit. You know, he's very knowledgeable on the boxing side, but his basketball takes at times was just like, why is he here? You know, and I think Stephen A got fed up at him and he's just like disgusted, and he got him out of there. He got him fired. Honestly, as we saw Max shortly after that popping up on other shows, I don't know where he is now. Stephen A. Smith is I'm not saying that he blackballed him, but he had the power to bring Shannon Sharp on his show, power to get rid of this person. He's over there firing people, reorganizing shit, top paid guy in the field. Stephen A. Smith is no joke. He's a titan over there. Okay, but like I could watch him give a take about trade scenarios and projections on team impact, playoff impact. Wemby has one of the best analytical takes every time they're all together. Wemby kills him. If Stephen A. Smith's take if Wemby's take is a 10, Stephen A. Smith is like a 6 in comparison. He gets killed. His strong suit to me on ESPN, being that there's a lot of people that have better sports analyst minds than him, is really his whole persona. That's the fucking entertainment side of it that obviously ESPN said that's our golden ticket, along with the fact that he's so corporately sound. He's a ladder guy. He's hey, Shannon Sharp, I'm dissing myself. The bosses don't like this, so I'm right. Those his boy under the bus a little bit. He's a corporate darling. He's a very compliant person. He's always never stepping on the bosses. Public statements of I wake up and try to figure out how to make my bosses more money. So that's number one. He knows how to remain a elevating corporate darling underneath owners and power structures. That's one of his talents of catering to his own success, to the people that's above him. The other side of it is just his entertainment, his screaming, I've definitely seen that consistently. You cut him on, I'm watching the ESPN take and he's yelling and shit. That's part of it though. He's top paid. He's done something right. So now overall, is there drama in ESPN? I think they've added more and more drama to things because of the social media world and reality TV element. And it's just all these companies looking and watching their ratings and seeing what works and what continues to adapt and attract fans. We just got to read the matrix. And if you pull up the stats and if you pull up the ratings, if ESPN is saying this is how we're going to approach things, this is how we're going to talk, we need to tone this up or turn this up, or we need to tone this down. If they look at their ratings every fucking month and they're going down, they're going to change some shit. If they look at their ratings and they're still number one, I mean, Michelle, like, what are we doing here? That's the reality of the shit. So, all right, let's jump over to some quick true crime. I want to get one of those in today. This was one that I saw, felt like a couple months ago, but all right, this is a Las Vegas case. Am I on the big screen? Now let me bring this up over here for y'all. All right, shout out to Court TV. Las Vegas prosecutors have filed an intent to seek the death penalty for the YouTuber accused of shooting and killing 2 content creators on a Los Angeles Strip, according to court documents. I believe that was like a husband, his wife, or a man and his girlfriend that were also content creators. Manuel Ruiz, known online as Sin City Manny, is accused of murdering Rodney, and Tanisha Finley. They both had the same last name. They were married. Yeah, Rodney and Tanisha Finley during a live stream at Bellagio Fountains on June 8th. Ruiz is charged with 2 felony counts of murder with a deadly weapon. In court documents, prosecutors cite 2 key aggravating circumstances as the basis for pursuing capital punishment. First, prosecutors allege that Ruiz committed multiple murders. Second, they claim Ruiz's actions posed a great risk death to others. Now, it's interesting to me for those two elements of why they decide to get the death penalty. One, not just, I mean, obviously they say it's because it's multiple people. So you killed a man and his husband, right? If you really read more details about this case, it's the premeditated nature that's going to be a part of this whole judgment as well. These were two entities going back and forth online, right? Now you see how we see like the drill shit and the drill scene and the rap songs and whatnot. These were YouTubers, you know, and it was almost a volley on some Vegas territorial shit almost that I think I remember reading. And the fact that you guys are going back and forth on YouTube, and it seems to be neither one of y'all own is owned to Las Vegas and shit, Bellagio and shit. And you end up murdering these two people. And I believe that there was threats going back and forth prior to the actual shooting. So that's one. Number two, how many of y'all been to Times Square? How many of y'all been to Las Vegas Strip? How many of y'all been to, I don't know, Miami Memorial Day weekend? How many of y'all been to a carnival? Right? How many of y'all been to the Dominican or Puerto Rican Day Parade? There was just a shooting with including allegedly a drill rap at a parade in New York recently, like last week, right? West Indian Day Parade in New York, right? Fuck it. How about a mall? Just a place where there's a lot of congestion and a lot of foot traffic. Okay. Remember the other day I said on the screen, I said, even the location, you can still get jammed. It's crazy. If I'm walking through the mall and if I have a gun on me, a legal gun to defend myself, and 5 niggas jump on me and I start shooting to get these niggas up off of me, even if I don't hit anybody, I might catch some charges because where I'm shooting inside that establishment, inside the mall, reckless endangerment and all this type of stuff. Even if nobody else got hit, they're not reporting in this case that somebody else got hit, but it's Las Vegas, right? So they also make an example out of you. The capital punishment is probably because of the murder side of it, but on this side of it's in Las Vegas and the circumstances of all these other people and how congested the area is, and you shooting and letting off, you know, these type of laws is tied towards money as well. You got to see through it. This is Las Vegas. It depends on these billions of dollars in tourism and gambling coming through every year. It's no different than the FBG Duck case when they said this ain't gonna be treated like no typical hood crime. They're gonna get these people because it happened in the Gold Coast, right in front of luxury stores and shit. It's like Fifth Avenue, Manhattan, right? Like it's like shooting in front of Saks Fifth Ave or some shit. No, they can't have people thinking like this is Times Square is a dangerous place. Las Vegas, there's too much money here. You think you're gonna pull a gun in this area and start shooting because of your YouTube beef? Death penalty. They said that's the second reason. Like it's constituting the murders because where you did it, you would not be. They wouldn't be seeking no death penalty if you killed 2 people in the projects, I feel. And on one side, you understand it. On the other side, it's bugged out. All right. The circumstances at play here. And if you think money is not involved, you're wrong. But I'm not trying to say that what he did wouldn't deserve it. He took 2 lives. So it is what it is. All right. We got one more piece of news. One more piece of news. What's this one that we saw? Shout out to Checks and Balances. Top 5 post messages of Ye allegedly asking him if he slid already on the guys who tried to take his life in the UK. So this is a screenshot. I see in the screenshot the name Top 5 at the top. So that would be text messages. It's looking like somebody need to charge their battery. You've been quiet lately. Did you get your revenge yet? I watched documentaries about you. It usually takes you 7 days. What's taking so long? ? Reply. They're hiding, Ye. My shiesty has been on for 120 hours looking for them. I haven't slept in days. Now, as stupid as Kanye is, I'm going to say I don't even think that this is a real text from him. Actually, it could be. Here's how it could be. Kanye's a fucking asshole to me, but that could be a line. You're never going to convince me that Kanye's already convinced us with his actions and things he said publicly. He don't fuck with Drake, right? He don't fuck with Top 5. He might have let Top 5 get next to him just out of being tactical, a shot. Drake is also Jewish. You put that swastika on fucking Top 5's neck on camera. It could have been a little bit out of fear. Let me try to bring alleged enemies into my circle instead. Right, turn them out with my celebrity and put them more on my side because we were just in the middle of threatening each other. You never know all the ambitions that Ye had for allowing a goofy like this to get next to him. But a text like that is so stupid. If it was real, I would then say it's a line. Hey, Top 5, go slide. Go do something, gangster. I watch your documentaries. Go slide, nigga. Go get out there and get yourself in trouble, huh? Right? If it was real, that's the only way I would interpret it from Kanye, because it would be super like, I just don't think that he's tweeting that childish to Top 5. Like, hey man, I watched your documentary, man, and it's been 7 days, so I thought I was gonna see you get these guys, man. I was curious. Has anything changed? Is it now 20 days instead of 7? I was just curious. I'm texting you, buddy, about you committing murder. No, I don't think it's that text. He might be texting him thinking like Top 5 is the type of guy that you could puppeteer, because I was around him and I see how much he fell into my graces because of my celeb. And you see him, around Drake and the way he acts and shit. He's a puppeteer guy. Let me go send one of my fake ops out and motivate him to go crash, right? If the text was real, that's the only justification I would have for Kanye texting that. Now, for Top 5, if this is real and he actually posted that, the goofiness continues. You posting, I'm hunting these guys. It's been 120 hours and I can't sleep. Hey, everybody, if you pull me over, you might find some guns in the car because I'm out here hunting for somebody. Yo, we might get to the end of 2025 and say, who were the biggest clout chasers? And Top 5 might land the number 1 spot. We're gonna have to review it. We're gonna have to go back over the year and see, right? I wanna do the top 10 frivolous lawsuits, and I also think I want to do the top 10 clout chasers of 2025. And you got the top spot right now. You got top 5 for sure. Bars. Gotta be kidding me. All right, let's hop over to the supers. What's going on this morning with everybody? We got Nikita in the chat. Appreciate the super love with the statement. I swear this podcast is my coffee. I love it here. Thank you, love. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's mine too, whether y'all know it or not. It gets me going. Did y'all see when I came on stream yesterday? Damn it, like 11 a.m. or something, like late for me. And I was just dragging at first, like a K-Shine event. I was drinking. I was watching movies after that. But it's all good. And then as the podcast going, my energy picks up, and this helps me get going too, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of this stuff I read for the first time, I hear for the first time with y'all, so it's also my news. I sat there right there with y'all live and said, hold on, come on, man. Rick Ross, why you talking money in 50 cents direction? And I pull it up and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. 50 million to 150 million? It's my news too. Like, all right, you're on the spot. So I appreciate you, love. We got another one from Makita. Our member comes and says, let's drop the chat down and hit that like button. Thank you. Absolutely. Please do that. And don't make me mod Nikita up over here and have her on y'all heels, banning y'all and whatnot for not liking the videos. Nah, you don't get banned for not liking y'all. Shout out to the lovely mod and member Jay dropping a super stick on us. Came in about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, Jay's active. She's around as always. She drops a sunshine. She drops a brick, and she drops what's that? It's either going to be a Gemini or infinity. All right. She's talking about that Gemini life. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you as always. Jay again says, laugh my ass off. I look at the percentage of people's batteries too in the screenshot. Yeah, I don't know why I did that just now. Why does everybody do that? What's that going to be, a reflection of how responsible we are? Maybe. I'm gonna read the screenshot before I read it. What's the battery life? We gotta cut that shit out. We gotta break. I don't know why we do that shit. I just caught myself doing that shit. You're right, love. You're definitely right. Jay says we're not ready for it to be over. Next topic, sir. We're hour in on a Monday. Shit, we gotta get working. Hey, Jay, I love you, but on that note, where's my outro? Yeah.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.